it going, guys? Welcome
What
to
up, what
Audio
up?
Addiction.
What
We
up?
have takers, leavers, because I didn't almost fuck that up before, so the guys can say their names and what they do in the band.
I'll go first. My name's David, and I sing and I play the guitar.
My name's Karam. I play bass and I scream.
My name's
May.
Oh.
Go for it, Robbie.
My name's Robbie, and I play guitar.
Yeah, you guys got to do like a tiny strings thing, like
Yeah, dude.
we are tiny strings.
And,
Background music.
and my name's May, CEO, Tiny Strings. I play guitar and sometimes sing.
What's up? I'm Rob. I play drums.
Awesome, guys. So the first question is, and I'm sure you've got asked this a lot, so you can take as long as you want to answer it, but how did you guys start out takers, leavers, and how did you guys all come together pretty much?
Oh man, the origin story.
The origin story.
Yeah, who's gonna? If we had an origin story, I wonder what writer would like write it, and like who would play like the fucking characters in it. You know, like what movie would it be?
Well, I'll let you answer that once we go through the origin story, because I'm very curious who you each are gonna pick for your individual storyline.
I'm already Danny DeVito. Just
Okay.
calling it ahead of
Yeah, I
time.
guess you would Danny DeVito know that. Oh man. Like long story short, Karam and I met a long time ago, and we started doing music together. And then I met Robbie through a mutual band, and we all kind of collectively started doing music together. And then we met up with May and Rob when we were sharing a lockout studio. Their band was kind of taking a hiatus, and our drummer just left, so we kind of joined forces. Fast forward a year, we're fucking like the tightest we've ever been, and it feels really tight and like family.
There we go. That's very cool. Like I feel like
I'm getting better at it, dude. It's like
that was like a package all wrapped up. You know, you had it. I don't even know if you were practicing it, Dave. Like,
I wasn't like straight up. I'm eating beans and rice right now and drinking an Arnold Palmer, and I'm just kind of like flowing, dude. And it felt right because, dude, there it's so much intricacy, and I'm sure like we'll get a chance to explain it later, but right now, like, we all just met through like a desire to do music with like really professional dudes who are good people, and we ended up being homies first, and then like coworkers or friends later. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like it just made sense.
And I also feel like I didn't want to cut you off, but I also feel like for a band, like that's super important to like have that kind of friendship prior to it, because I hear so many like bad stories of like people that are in bands together and they're just like, yo, we're not homies, like we don't see each other like outside of like doing this, and it just sucks. I hate seeing that, you know. I feel like, you know, you guys are like on tour together and shit, like I figure you'd be like more I hear so much fucking shit going on right now.
Mute your microphone. It's picking up the wind chimes, dog. Oh shit, hold on.
I thought you were like trying to add to that.
It looks like you're playing the wind chimes. Like I thought.
I thought for sure he was playing the wind chimes.
I looked straight, dude. I was playing like a hang drum or something. Like, what the fuck? Look at that.
Yo, let me blast these chimes real quick.
Yeah.
I'll be inspired.
Dude, hey, just saying, takers, leavers, 2021. I'm not even gonna be playing a drum set anymore.
Dude, chime in 2020, dude.
Yeah.
I was like trying not to pay attention to the wind chimes, and I was just like, yo, Brandon, focus on this shit, and then all I could hear is just like going
My
on
head
in the
it just
background.
got louder and louder.
Yo, what is it like? Fear not, and or don't fear and chime on, or don't fear and chime on.
Chime on.
But anyway, I feel like, you know, I like I said, I hear so many stories about bands that like get together, and it's just like, my God, like that sucks. You still get the wind chimes still rocking.
Oh, dude,
Bro.
You know what? Hang on 1 second.
Still
I just
going.
realized.
Is it you?
Is it
It's
you?
me.
Oh,
Yeah. Hang on. Let me Let me put a
Sorry,
high pass filter on that
dude,
thing.
this is so good.
Damn musicians.
Hey, Rob, I'd like to formally apologize on behalf of myself, not anybody else. They all gotta apologize on that.
I
That's
didn't know
okay.
who had the wind
It was-
chime, so I'm not even gonna take fault.
Dude, it was probably both of us. Like, there's so many chimes in my backyard.
That's tight. You guys are you guys just gonna become like a wind chime ensemble? I feel like that's the next step for
Flutes
takers,
and,
leavers. Yeah,
like,
You guys-
Yeah, we just write on chimes.
Just all wind
Really.
instruments, dog.
Can we all
Including
translate
these
it to, like-
assholes.
including vocals. You guys just come up with
Hey,
super,
if
like
I-
takers,
If I can
leavers.
chime in here, no pun intended.
Jesus.
I'm
No.
pretty sure my asshole is on a recording somewhere. It's in there. It's in there somewhere. It's like really
It's
hidden
in
like our new
Quiet Chaos.
stuff. Yeah. So
It's in like the second verse when there's a bunch of noise and stuff
like-
going on the guitar.
That's the true secrets. The secrets
Dude.
you didn't even know about this band. Now you
hey
know,
man,
guys.
you know we gotta leave we gotta leave a little mystery in there for you guys.
You've
There
heard
you
of the
go.
brown note. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's-
you've actually heard it.
That's
Yeah.
about as close as you're gonna get. But anyway, to kind of point out what Dave was asking earlier, just as like a fun joke, you guys were talking about like an origin story. So like, who's gonna play you in this takers leavers documentary that's gonna come out at the end of this year, right? It's in Sundance right now, right? That's
Yeah,
what I
but
thought.
because of COVID, we had to push it to 2021.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Well, who do you
Production
guys have to who's like playing you in this cinematic masterpiece? We already heard Danny DeVito, so you guys got the budget for it. I feel like
We got, any budget?
Well, you have Danny DeVito, so I mean, come on.
Okay. Wait, how about this? Can we all guess for each other? Like, I guess who, like,
Go ahead.
would play, like, this person, and then that person would guess the other person?
Do it up, Dave.
Alright, I think... Oh, man.
I got so many, but I can't think of the names. Right
Dude,
now.
hold on, I'm blanking right now. Simply because of humor or style of humor, I would want Jack Nicholson to play Maywell. I think Maywell walking around saying shit like Jack Nicholson would be fucking cool.
Oh.
All right. I was
This is the best. This is the funniest shit. I'm just gonna say.
here's Robbie. So I was like, so I was gonna choose this for me, but I kind of like this better for Karam right now, and I have no idea why. But what about Michael Pena?
No.
Oh.
Wait.
Shit. Oh my god, that's great. Like,
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see. Hold on. Now I'm like, you fucked me up because now I can't stop seeing you as Michael Pena.
Right?
Yeah.
But I keep thinking like Ant-Man Michael Pena.
Yeah, like real fast talking, super guy. Yeah, for sure. Alright, Karen, your turn.
Alright, I got two people for Robbie
Ooh.
Friend. They're very
Ooh.
contrasting.
Two people for Robbie, friend. Okay.
All right.
I think of Jesse Eisenberg when I see Robbie.
Pinkman.
Yeah.
Pinkman.
No,
Did you
that,
say- no,
like Jesse
Guys from
Eisenberg?
Social Network.
Zombieland.
Yeah.
Oh,
Totally.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
I
Yeah.
see that.
And then for the shit of it, I just want to see how like Gary Busey would be.
Oh man.
hey, that
Robbie would say
I
something
would love to
completely
see that.
logical, and it would just sound completely bananas.
Yo, Brandon, what's crazy is Robbie's like the opposite of Gary Busey. So that would be insane.
Gary Busey would just have a show. He wouldn't even know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Robbie,
feeling this. I'm vibing. So Robbie,
All right.
who you
I want to see. Oh man, I don't know. Karam, do you want to be like some fucking Aziz Ansari maybe?
I can tell you.
There it is,
something
dude. He
about
had to
Aziz
throw
Ansari.
it. You look like the brown guy, Mike.
Let's do
We
it.
have similar mannerisms. It's
We got one more, I think.
Alright, yeah. Robbie, you gotta guess Rob.
Rob, man, I don't know his name, but the the ginger from Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Oh, the
Oh
fucking
my god.
Torment.
Fucking
Yeah,
Torment?
Torment.
Yeah.
Just
Dude,
forever
all
looking
I
for
can
his
think of-
Brienne, dude.
All I can think of is that Bob Ross meme where he's painting Brienne.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. Or I kind of want to see what's his name? The guy who plays Hopper in Stranger Things.
Oh,
I could for sure see him playing him, no doubt.
Oh, I have to look that guy up now. That's great.
He plays like the new.
He's the same guy that was in or is going to be in that like Black Widow movie. He's like that.
Oh yeah.
He
He's
plays
like
the new Hellboy.
Yeah, he does play the new
okay.
Hellboy, and he also plays like the Russian version of Captain America.
That's what it
in the
was,
new-
yeah.
Yeah, in like the new Black
Oh,
Widow.
what the fuck's his name?
What?
Yeah.
I better find out his name right now. It's David Harbour.
David Harbour.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Strong name.
If you guys ever wanted to know Takers and Leavers documentary, celebrity, well, I mean, we already know that's what it's going to be. So you can get your tickets now. The links are in the description, or you can pre-order a ticket for Sundance right now.
I want 1980s
Wait,
porn
I got-
star John Homestead.
I got one more.
One more? All right, rock it.
I don't know why, but I see I see Pedro Pascal.
Wait,
From
who's Pedro Pascal?
from Napoleon Dynamite?
No, fucking from
Oh, that's what I
Mandalorian,
thought.
dude.
From what?
Oh, the
The dude
dude
that
from
plays
Mandalorian,
Mandalorian.
bro.
Oh,
Or-
shit. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, I fucking the Viper.
Yeah, the Viper.
Yes.
I was gonna say the fucking yeah.
See that?
Like,
Oh, my God. This is great. This is a great cast, guys. I'm
or
really
Narcos
excited.
season 1. Yeah.
Narcos.
Narcos
Expensive.
season 1.
It's an expensive ass movie.
This is going to be an expensive movie, so, that's why these guys are releasing a record, too, on top of that, just to kind of, to be able to pay for this elaborate movie budget and just, like, so stuff like that. So if you really want to support Takers Leavers, you should buy the record, and then,
Buy all of our music.
you'll get a digital copy of their brand new documentary featuring the likes
Just start
of
funneling money into
Start
our
a Patreon for
Start-
this shitty
start a
movie.
Patreon, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, all of those things, all at the same
Yeah.
time. Who cares,
You
right?
Our budget will just
Fuck
for
it.
the stars.
Through the
It's gonna be a
stars.
shitty movie.
Through the-
Well, if you want to see this movie, let them know. I don't know. I can't afford to pay into this, so I'm just gonna.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna all pull out student loans and call it like a big student project. And then when they come at us with what school are you going to, we'll say South Harmon Institute of Technology, and we'll just settle it right there.
There you go. Unless
Nobody's
they've,
Building
Yeah.
volcanoes.
unless they've seen the
You,
movie and then you're
fucking-
fucked.
Yeah.
University of Phoenix.
But anyway, guys, the next question, a fun one as well. Who are you guys influenced by? I guess you guys can individually go through, who inspired you to play your instrument. Anyone want to take the lead on this one?
I'll go. All right. Just for guitar, like there were like a couple bands that were pretty influential for me. An early one for me was actually oh man, it's like Andy Summers from The Cars. Do you guys know that? Like
Yeah,
The
the
Cars?
Cars.
I
The
like
Cars,
Cars,
like
dude.
it's super random. And then System of a Down was like a big one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Guitar wise for me.
Yeah.
Like
That
that
makes
was
sense.
that was massive. And then I would have to I know we talk about this band like all the time, but like anything by like The Receiving End of Sirens, like that, like they were like their parts, like the way that they
That's
worked
my
together,
guy right there.
that
That's my guy right there.
that was like the shit for me, is that three guitarists could like kind of like
Yeah.
weave in and out. But
And
yeah,
three vocalists.
yeah, and three vocalists,
Yes.
like to boot. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's my take.
Yeah, I think I'll piggyback off May because growing up, like the reason the first like music I heard and I fell in love with was like shit like the Doors and I think Pink Floyd. My brothers were always playing this stuff, and I grew up with that, and then a mix of like electronic, and then there was grunge, and obviously I went through that little wave. But like when I discovered like my own like instrumental influence, I think it was like early 2000, like post-hardcore, like At the Drive-In, and like even Coheed's first record. When I heard that stuff, it actually got me out of just learning other people's songs and kind of experimenting with my own notes and stuff. So I think that those are what cracked the egg. And then what really kind of like cooked the fucking scramble was like a mixture of like that hardcore, like mid-2000s hardcore, really aggressive stuff, but like really riffy things. I was getting into like Circa at the time too, so there was a lot of spacey riffs and stuff. But for singing, kind of all over the place, dude. I love Death Cab for Cutie. I love, again, Circa's a big influence. Obviously, a lot of people hear it. But the Receiving End of Sirens, I think musically as a whole, it's crazy because it's a super obscure band that nobody ever really like dives into or like even gives an ear to. And sometimes I've had friends like hit me up like years later and be like, yo, you remember that fucking Receiving End of Sirens CD you gave me? I like listened to it recently and it's like, whoa, I get it. It took me a few years, but that's kind of how it works. But they're so rewarding, dude. It's insane.
Also, to kind of correct myself, I meant Andy Summers from The Police.
There you go. Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I like the Cars still.
I still love that band, though. I still love that band so much.
Yeah, the Cars
guilty
still
pleasure,
dope.
dude. For me, I love like the moody shit. Like I love like emo kind of music. Like I grew up listening to Census Fail and Bayside and Boys Night Out and shit. Like I love that shit. Like, I love angry music and stuff. So I love being able to like express that in TL and still get to like fuck with like some intricate stuff too. Because like we resonate with that, but we still like that's why our music is in a way a sort of collective of just heavier side of music. We get a little catchy, we get heavy, we get intricate, because we love all that stuff. So.
Ravi?
Yeah, so like came up like listening to like music from like the 60s and 70s, like Beatles and Queen and all that kind of stuff, and really wasn't like specific bands that made me want to play music. It was more like finding the culture of music. Like I remember going to my first Warped Tour, and it was like a cathartic experience. We're gonna hear that word a lot today. But like just seeing like just the combination of accessible music and not only just like bands being accessible to us as the consumer, but also like how accessible it was to just be able to play these songs. Bands like Lagwagon and NoFX and No Use for a Name, kind of like the Fat Wreck punk surfscape vibe bands, and kind of evolved into what a lot of us kind of grew into, bands like Bayside and Amberlin and Emery and Underoath that came in through like the mid 2000s. Seosin, obviously a big influence on all of us, I'm sure. And seeing what those bands helped create, and Thrice, obviously. I mean, who could forget Thrice? And
Pioneers, dude.
Yeah,
all those great pioneers, and recently, a lot of bands that just kind of carry that torch, bands like Dance Gavin Dance and I the Mighty. They're really big influences recently, just to keep like pushing the envelope of what bands can do. Like what should be a stale and tired sound, and still making it their own. And, I really appreciate that, and it makes me want to be a better musician, knowing that you can still do that in this day and age.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Bob, your turn. Bob.
For me, when I was a kid, my sister had two of those like really like big ass giant CD cases.
Yeah.
And it was just stacked full of albums and CDs. A lot of it, she listened to like a lot of 90s music, but also like a range from genres from anything like country to techno to whatever, rock, metal, anything. anyways, I'd sift through it and I'd just be like listening to a bunch of records, and I came across albums from like artists like Rammstein, Metallica, um, some random country artist, and it was, that was like at a really young age, like that's when like I gained like an affinity for like heavier music, I guess. And then as I got a little bit older, I met some friends and they introduced me to other bands like AFI and The Offspring and NoFX, like a lot of punk bands, and then got more into metal, and then I really fell in love with like dark, evil metal, like Dimmu Borgir and Cradle of Filth. Not necessarily for the drumming aspect of it. Like at that point, it was more for like this cinematic. Like I thought it was so dark and evil. I don't know.
Juicy and like, yeah, no, I feel that, dude. Because I got into Dimmu Borgir and like a lot of those bands too. That just
is it
Borgir
or is it Borgir? I don't.
What my brother always said was Borgor, but I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It is like. I figure we should hold on.
I think it's Borgir.
Is it
I'm pretty
Borgir?
sure it's Borgir. Yeah, I was gonna. That's what I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Let me fucking not be an asshole and correct myself.
Or you could just be like super cool, and you can just say fucking Dimmu.
Yeah, Dimmu.
You're like,
I'm gonna settle with
Dimmu. Yeah.
I don't know if that's what. I don't know if they would be cool with that, but.
I don't give a fuck, dude. You know what?
Whoa, all right, man.
You guys do that to yourselves as a band.
yeah, them Demo
You know,
boys.
Yeah.
Like we didn't do that, dude. Takers, leavers is so simple. It's 2 words in like the plural sense of them. You know what I mean?
Yet somehow,
it's take and leaves. Like just make it plural. Takers, leavers. You know.
dude. Yet somehow
But
we
Dimmu
are always
Borgir?
called takers and leavers for some reason.
Yeah.
It's human dyslexia, dog.
It is 100%.
But anyways, so like.
Sorry, dog.
Yeah, no worries. So like, yeah, like I love those bands, and honestly, when I was younger, my dad had like taught me how to like play bass a little bit, and it never really stuck with me. Like I learned a couple songs, I didn't really care for it, and then it wasn't until like I started listening to like hardcore bands and like other like deathcore bands like Throwdown and fucking As I Lay Dying, early metalcore bands and shit like that, Texas in July, August Burnt Red. That really like triggered. I was like, fuck, I like always had like, I felt like I could really play the drums. Like I knew I could. Like it was like a calling or whatever. As gay as that may sound. So yeah, I was like 19 years old. I like just got out of the military. I got out early, and then I went and worked a couple odd jobs, bought a drum set, and then like just started learning. As far as like artists, like is there any particular artist that like influenced me? Not anyone specifically, because like that was like the cool thing about the instrument is like there's so many different ways to approach it. And there's so many talented artists out there that do it in such an amazing way, and then like as I like got further into my musical career or whatever, like I learned different ways, like different approaches and different ways to play. So like I'd stick to different artists and stuff that had like a better knack on it, like different groove or weird patterns or odd time or this or that or blah blah blah. So but it was always ever changing, so there was never like one person.
No, because I feel like with your guys' stuff, and I checked out Quiet Chaos before we hopped on, and I was talking to the guys about like how they kind of fuse a little bit of like hardcore, and like when I had first listened to it, I was just like, holy shit! I was like, this is really aggressive to kind of start out, and then you get to the chorus of it, and then it's more like melodic, and there's like bands like you guys referenced earlier, like M.O.A.B. That was like one of the bands that I could think of, like a little bit of Circa, that sort of vibe. And there's kind of like a mesh between like the heaviness of what you guys do, but also like kind of like this really cool melodic aspect of it. And so when I was waiting to ask you guys the questions on influences, I was just curious, like, because I always have this game in my head, like, you know, who are they influenced by, and if like can I guess it like in my head prior to them telling me like who their influences are, just like because I just want to know if I'm like even close. And I felt like I was
And
like Circa Survive, like Every Time I
Circa, I the
Die,
Mighty,
I the
Every Time I
Mighty,
Die.
Every Time I
You're on
Die.
point.
It
Yeah.
felt like it was that was the trifecta of bands that I was thinking of out of my head,
You
just
kind of nailed it.
because like again you have that little bit of edge of like old I the Mighty. You also have that super edge of like Every Time I Die, like just the screams are like in your face, and I loved it. And then just like that beautiful kind of like landscape with like the more ethereal aspects from like Circa Survive make themselves known in like a chorus. So I'm very excited to see what you guys got coming up next, because if it's as good as that, then Chef's Kiss, my guys, is great.
What is Louis C.K. say? It's like kissing an asshole. You know? You know what's crazy is I was talking to May about it, and I'm doing this because May's below me right now. Is that where you're at right now, May?
No, I'm like to you. I'm more like over here.
Wait, are you up here?
Yeah, that's me.
Right.
That's
He's
me.
all the way to my left.
Everyone
I
point
was
to me.
fucking talking
So-
to May earlier today, and like I was thinking, there it is.
Yeah.
I was thinking like I'm excited because like this is to me of the songs that like we're gonna be releasing as you know the next few or whatever. I think this was like the weak, like the not the weaker one, but like this was not as strong songwriting wise as like what's coming next. I don't know. I'm just excited for it. You know. Like,
That's you know, it's funny you say that. Like I was thinking about one, this song we never played live.
yeah.
We only played the other two live, but we're releasing this one first. Is kind of serendipitous in a way, like how it's unfolding.
Yeah.
It makes me excited for the future because I think all of us collectively would agree that Quiet Chaos would be number 3 in our likeness. I think.
And it's hard to
Right,
explain
yeah.
it that way because it's like telling you like which one's your favorite kid. It's not like it's not my like say it's like
I love the
think-
song, but in terms of the 3, like comparing the 3, like
yeah.
this one's at the bottom for me.
Yeah, which is nutty because like I think this song. What's weird about this song is very difficult to play. Like it's a very difficult song to do
Sure.
because there's like so much stuff that like switches up in it. But what's cool about our style right now is I think we're still you know our heart's rooted in that old school vibe of post-hardcore, and I think before we like really get out and experiment on something like a full length, I think we're just honing in and perfecting this foundation and this backbone of this post-hardcore because like we've already begun writing new stuff, and man, like some of it's just like some of it's still like very TL-ish, and then the rest of it's kind of like whoa, like okay, they're starting to just do cool, interesting things. I'm not stressing about like what gets hard part am I gonna write. It's more so like what does this song need, you know? That's a much cooler approach at this point. So, but I feel like it's still always going to have that little layer of like, hey, this feels familiar, you know? Kind of like I feel like our music feels familiar to a lot of people because it comes from like a place where we're just nostalgic and we want to basically re-experience it but try to evolve it. But in order to evolve it, I feel like we have to work our way up to mastering it, you know?
No, absolutely. I feel like you guys are. It's cool to see kind of the evolution because I know Dave and I have been friends, even though like I've been trying to get you guys on for like months.
I know.
now.
I'm so
it's all
sorry
good.
about that.
I'm not trying to call you out, Dave. You know this wasn't a call out, but like if you want, you want to call man. But I was like. It's so interesting to see the progression of what you guys have so far, like what I've listened to. Obviously, the most recent single you guys released is the most current thing in my head. But it's just cool to see the different vibes that you have going on. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, like they're sticking to kind of a certain thing and just like going down that lane. I felt like even with the newest song, you have kind of that range of like, oh, I can go really heavy and people would enjoy that, or I can go like more melodic and people would still enjoy that. And then there's gonna be fans that are like, oh, I like both of those things. Like this is like the perfect song for me. And when you said you're like, oh, this might be one of the weaker tracks, I was like, wow. I was like, if that's one of the weaker tracks, you know, I want to hear that good shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I hope it never gets misconstrued too, because like when I mean weaker, I mean like I think this is like, would you guys say this is like the heaviest, or would you say no?
Yeah, well, I mean, in which aspect?
This
Like,
is
I
the
feel
most.
like
This is the most like aggressive. Like, hey, like this song
This
is
is the
like
most
fucking
metal-y.
Tasmanian Devil.
yeah,
The
exactly,
other ones are a
exactly.
little bit more like bigger cats that are kind of like composed, not as like I'm gonna fucking shred you to bits. More so like I know you can, bite, but like I'm not gonna bite you yet.
I'm gonna take the
Does that make
time.
sense? Do I sound like
Like-
fucking explain
I don't
something?
know. I like how Dave's asking the band like in
Like-
this interview. He's like, "Yo, man, like, what do you think? Like,
It-
what
like,
do you
if
think
this
about our
is-
song?"
Like, if this is the Tasmanian Devil, then our other songs are like that dog that, like, that. Have you seen that meme where it's like, oh, like, this dog doesn't bite, but he can hurt you in other ways?
Oh yeah.
And then he says, like, some really fucked up shit to you.
That's it.
That's a great analogy. That's awesome. Okay. Well, I'm very excited. Hopefully, you guys got new tunes on the horizon that other people can listen to when it comes out. But to keep things more current, what have you guys been jamming recently? What's on the Spotify? What have you guys been listening to lately?
I listen to a lot of Alkaline Trio.
Ooh,
It's like
throwing
a
it
daily
back.
thing for me. Yeah, good morning,
That's good.
every day.
I've been listening to Thornhill
Oof, yes.
Nice.
and fucking yeah, Thornhill.
Nice.
I just had a major brain fart. Also, like While She Sleeps and the Black they just dropped a new album. So
Oh, yeah.
What's crazy, dude, is like I haven't been listening to that much new music. I just rediscovered fucking Norma Jean.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I'm playing more video games than I am listening to music.
Ooh,
currently.
well, we'll have maybe something a little bit. Maybe you alluded to a question later on that
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it at that for now.
And we'll put a pin in this, and then we can fucking.
It's gonna come. Yeah, the pin's coming out later. Yeah.
I've been
I
listening
listen to.
Oh, what? Go
No,
ahead,
go
dude.
first. Oh no, I already said something.
No, Crumb,
You're right here for me, so I apologize.
Go for it, man.
I was just saying, I've been listening to a lot of Lord Huron. Huron. He's like he has like this Western, like fucking cowboy style to it, but
Wait,
it's like
what?
indie.
Who did you say? Did you say Lord Huron?
Yeah,
Oh,
Lord
you're
Huron.
talking- yeah,
There
yeah.
you go, yeah.
Lord Huron's sick, dude.
Yeah, it's just good for the soul.
Yeah,
You just
his
listen to it and you're like, you know
music
what?
is
Life's good.
He's not one of those guys that just basically has like an acoustic and then like a kick drum at his foot and then something else, right? He's like
Yeah, I think you're talking about Shaky Graves.
Shaky Graves is who I was thinking of. Yeah,
He's great though.
I know who you're talking about, though, Lord Huron. I've seen
Yeah,
Coachella.
some good music.
So.
Definitely
I'll
recommend.
have to check that out. I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, it's well produced. Very, very well produced. Alright.
I've been, dude, like, I don't know what it is. Like, this last year, like, my playlists, a lot of them have, like, it's like Sleep Token
Oof. Yes.
and, like, a bunch of, like, The Midnight, Time Cop 1983, and, like, I mean, and then, like, just, like, oh my god, why can't I remember it? Just, like lo-fi. Just like a bunch of lo-fi stuff, and that's like been like a collective thing. I feel like amongst the band, like we all kind of like when we're doing stuff, like we typically be like, hey, put on that lo-fi playlist or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like let's like like fucking clean up our room or some shit like that, or like do something to our guitars.
Good
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Dave?
I was just gonna say I'm not really like listening to that much music, but like I could shout out some like bands.
Do it up.
Like you should definitely check out Elk Grove. They're sick.
Big time.
The Boys and Set Sites, they're dope. And Oh, our friends in the arson choir, they're super sick.
Hell yeah.
All really cool, like good sounding bands that write like cool music too.
There we go.
I don't like listen to like much new stuff. Like the new Dance Gavin Dance record I've like listened to like once or twice, you know, and it's fucking obviously it's really good, you know. But I'm like listening to like random songs all over the place. I don't know, like it's just
The
so
lo-fi
scary.
beats. That's what's keeping you going.
That's like, dude, that's like lifeblood, man.
Yeah,
feel-
dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the essential water of music. You
Yeah.
know, you need a hydrate. Listen to some lo-fi, you mellow it out, you're good.
It's that
Like-
it's that holy water. My God.
Yeah, dude, it's
got you.
pH
Yeah.
balanced stuff.
Chef's kiss.
There it is.
Just go on, get you
La, la,
some
la.
blessings.
And then Robbie, what have you been listening to, man?
Yeah, I've been trying to seek out new bands recently, and just a couple that come to mind that I've been jamming on are Capstan and another band, Hail the Sun. Actually, someone said that we sounded like them, ironically
Hail
enough,
the Sun,
the other day.
yeah.
I was blown away by that.
Hail the sun. Oh yeah.
I've heard that.
It's
Yeah,
'cause- I think it's because Dave looks like Donnie a little bit. Like if Donnie had
Do I look
long
like
hair,
Donnie?
Yeah,
like
you
if
do
you
kinda
if
look
you
like
had
a
like
little
long hair, if Donnie had long hair, like real long hair, I feel like it could be close.
Donnie, if you baby, if you're
Yeah.
watching this, come get
It's
some.
yours.
he might actually watch it. I don't know.
There's so fucking much, dude.
Don't go stealing Dave's hair. That sounds not a good move. I don't think so.
Yeah, you don't want to touch it.
I don't know. I don't want to touch it. So, and I'm in like over on the other side of the country. So, but anyway, guys, a fun question as well. If you guys could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Digital Bath by Deftones.
That would be sick.
I know it, like it's always like on the tip of everybody's tongues, but it's just such a good sounding song. And like when you do, it's 2. I'll give it 2.
I'm just gonna count every time. Post Brandon's gonna count every time that we've done this.
Do the little,
Just a little ticker
Please do
at the
it.
top.
please do it. Yeah, perfect. Here's 2 extra for you. Mwah, mwah. Yeah, that's what
I've always wanted us to cover Strawberry Fisher. Was it part 3?
Oh,
Like, I really wanted us to do a Dance Gavin Dance song, but they're toughies.
yeah.
You
I
guys
hope
could
cover a song that's like not in our genre and like bringing it in, you know, like
That's a move.
Yeah, that's a lot funner, in my opinion.
like reimagining it.
Yeah. That shit's tight. I like that.
A cool song for us to cover would be a song called "Going Through Changes," originally done by Ozzy Osbourne, but
Oh yeah, that's right. It's the theme song for Big Mouth.
yeah, I don't know. I think we could do something really.
That would be so fun, dude.
Yo, I know, like, when you first brought that up, I said, yeah. This is just me confirming that I'm still, yeah.
Why is this the
Own
first
video
time
now.
Yeah, we got it.
Documented.
Yeah, exactly. Quote me all you fucking want, dog. Turn this into a GIF right here,
Right now.
right now. Carib's smiling because he's like, I'm done.
But I'd love to cover "Dance Gavin Dance" just for the record. That'd be sick, dude.
2 for Ozzy, 2 for DGD. So let's see if who's gonna disrupt this balance of.
May I swear if you don't say something by the cars or the police,
You're phony.
You're fake, dude. We already did like toxicity just like for fun.
Yeah,
We were talking about like man. We can cover the songs of these chimes you're doing, dude, if you guys want. Like,
it's like a, I'm down, dude.
I really think what, dude?
Yeah, catch the swing of Hollywood was going over here.
I was actually bouncing around this idea before of doing something by a band called Daughter. Like
Ooh, yeah.
they had like a run of songs that were like pretty like big, like back in the day. I was like, dude, it would be really cool to take this like really somber song and like kind of start it off that way, and then like just TL it. You know what I mean? Like, so I still think Daughter would be like a really cool. What the fuck was the band? Do you guys remember the song? Youth. Yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah, a lot of people were covering that, dude. There's so many really good like versions of it.
There's so many good like piano versions of it, like
Yeah.
and like acoustic versions of it. And I was like, dude, I don't think there's like a full band one that kind of does what we do.
Nah, yeah, it's a pretty
Yeah.
haunting song, dude. I
Yeah.
like really haunting music, so that sounds cool.
I'm also gonna throw in just randomly planning a prison break by singing the sirens.
Dude, that'd be so fun, man.
You know what's funny is like all these songs
that'd
I
be fun.
like would love to cover, but the crazy thing is like, man, we should do like another like full blown emo night cover set where people like a karaoke type thing, because like I feel like with the way music's going, people should start doing that and just keeping like some old bands that don't play their live music anymore, kind of holding the torch, making sure like the fire's lit, because I would love to do that for Trails, man. Like that'd be so cool.
I like that you guys keep referencing Treos because they're completely underrated band. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about.
Dude,
at
weird.
all.
Man, like
Yeah.
all three of us, like the self-proclaimed Tiny Strings Club as assembled right now, we love Trails. Like it's one of those things where we go, what would Trails do? What would they do here? And it sucks because like 2 albums to me isn't like enough. And I know it's crazy. Like whoever's listening would be like, if they don't know who Trails is, they'll probably go experience it and still not really just plug it in yet. I'd have to say, like, just keep listening a few times, and it'll connect. And when it does, you'll be like, oh man, it's orchestra. It's orchestra with like post-hardcore, and it's like this haunting project that like just reverberates, and you can hear their influence in a lot of different music. Like their last release was 2006.
Yeah.
And like it stemmed this like perfected like harmony between electronic and like organic, and just it was a spectacle, man. It was crazy to just witness. It was a crazy spectacle, and they ended up breaking up, like going off into like separate bands and doing their own things and stuff, but like those 2 albums, like I really feel shouldn't die. Like I feel like people should know who they are and should listen to them and be like, oh cool, this is a doable thing,
I also feel like they were just like ahead of their time as a band collectively. Like, I obviously love like Casey and the Deer Hunter, and that was mainly how I found out about Treos. Was like I found out about the Deer Hunter first, and I was just like, oh well, he must be doing something else, right? Prior to this, like this can't be his first band, and if it is, that's like nuts.
That's insane. Yeah.
So I like looked back, and then I found Treos, and I was just like, this is nuts too. I was like, this dude's like God tier. Like I don't understand.
Oh, dude, he's like,
Dude, he's insane.
Yeah, and
Berkeley, right?
That type of musicianship isn't like around anymore. Like a lot of people are influenced by your Jimi Hendrixes and stuff like that, or you jump directly into your like modern like metalcore, like But those musicians that created that, it's insane. Like when you break it down, some of it's just like genius, like production. Mm-hmm. The way it flows, you're like, wow, this is a very moving piece of art, and it's like it always breaks my heart, and like I was this close to seeing him for the first time, and then COVID happened, and I'm like,
dude, I didn't want to say,
fuck, man, fuck,
and Envy too.
Envy, yeah. They're such a good band,
Yeah, and Beyond the Coast is another one of those really sick ass bands.
You guys could have come out to see me because it's one of the shows is in Jersey, so.
Is it still, they canceled it though, right?
They canceled it, but I meant like on the tour listing, I know that they were coming out here, so.
Oh man, because like they're from the East Coast, I think, right?
I believe so. I don't wanna put myself out on the internet knowing that I could get fucked up.
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty sure they are, but I
I
don't.
think they're from like Pennsylvania or something.
Yeah, like Treos is from like the East Coast. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. I think. Yeah, I don't know where Emmy's from.
but yeah. Anyway, yeah.
There we go. Well, hopefully post just virus, I hope that you guys will be able to get to see them because they're awesome. But
Thanks,
I don't know if Lannis is gonna give us an answer here, but I think he. Can you hear me?
What have you been listening to, Bob?
I did give an answer. I said Thornhill and
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm going stupid now. I feel like my brain. It's just shut my brain off right now. This very
Same.
moment.
You're good. You're
So
good.
we were gonna move it on, guys, to the next question, which is another fun one. Favorite food to eat?
Favorite food to eat? Like
Correct.
fun-wise would probably be sushi. I think sushi's the most
I like
fun.
how you had to like determine what you're like. Well, like, am I gonna hate it or like
Yeah. I just have to think about the
just
process.
eat it to survive? You know?
Cause like there's some food that like I hate eating, but it's delicious. Like wet burritos. I fucking hate eating them. I think they're so delicious. You know what I mean? Because
No,
they're
I
just
don't.
messy.
Please elaborate. Please elaborate. I need to know.
A burrito is wrapped to perfection. You're supposed to eat. It's a dynamic, aerodynamic piece of food that you're supposed to hold. A wet burrito, you don't do that. You don't want to hold a wet burrito. You have to. It has to be on the table. You have to eat it with a fork and knife. Now, that's like to me. That's like eating a pizza with a fork and knife. I just think it's taboo. I don't think anyone should do it. So
Fair.
I think a wet burrito is one of those things where I like. It's so delicious, but it's like eating. It's like eating a Cinnabon. Like Louis C.K. says, you're not proud of it, dude, but you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna eat it. I am like,
You're
Not
like
the
the most dignified
You're
eating
like, who decided to make a burrito with all these extra steps involved?
exactly,
Yeah,
dude.
like,
I mean, but
you're
it's
like,
like,
now I gotta
sauce
do
on
all
the
this
side.
extra
Just dunk it.
so that's
Okay. I see your point of view. I see your point of view.
As long
Guys.
as you see my point, that's all.
I don't know if everybody else would be so easy on you on the internet, but I know I get it. You know.
That's fine. Disagree with me, okay? I'll be enjoying a wet burrito.
So I got a shout out to basically our home base where I get my favorite food ever. And
Yeah.
I thank David all the time for making me eat it. It was Kitakata ramen. That is what sustains this band. I think whenever we need to get shit done, we just go get some Kitakata.
Robbie, you should tell us
my
your history
favorite
with
food, man.
Kitakata.
It's all David's fault.
No, Robbie used to hate ramen. Like, he didn't hate it.
I was indifferent, I would say, about ramen.
Okay.
But
okay.
now he's like,
Now,
Now
just
he's a
that
part
one
of the
bowl,
ra-
man.
Now
Just
he's
that
a
one
part
bowl.
of that. Now he's a part of the ramen gang. You know.
oh, dude, the second he started telling me, he's like, yeah, man, I've been going by myself.
That's how you know. That's how you know it's serious.
Like, holy shit, dude. Like,
I'm glad you converted, Robbie.
I need life to get back to
Congratulations.
normal so we can go back there.
That's probably like one of the first things we'll do, dude.
Yeah, that's like playing shows. That's great, but I need to get to the top.
Anybody else taking the reins on this?
Oh man, I either love seafood, Mexican, or ramen. It's the same thing with us, I think.
I think we're all kind of on the same dietary habits, dude. Like, I see May making himself ramen whenever I FaceTime him.
Is that true, May?
Dude, it is true. Unless it's like unless it's like Tuesday, where it's like taco inspired ramen.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, but for real, like my favorite has to be like, dude, I mean, at the risk of, yeah, it's a perfect food, taco. Like tacos and sushi are easily like, I could go either way.
Taco's a masterclass appetizer. It's like
Yeah.
more than an appetizer, but it's not like a full meal, so you're like, oh.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Dave's got it. Lannis?
I mean, I don't give a favorite, I guess. Like, I don't know. I love Mexican food. I love ramen too. Yeah, I love American. I love barbecue. I love. Okay, if I get diverted too, I love home cooked meals the best. Like rather than processed food. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a specific food. Like it could be like chicken and rice. But it's like how it's prepared at home. Like, you know.
The
Rob's
authentic
nickname
way.
is Rob Broccoli.
What?
He's a health nut. Rob Broccoli.
Yeah. But occasionally, I mean, and when I mean occasionally, I mean like almost every time. But pussy's a good snack too.
Oh my god, damn it. I was waiting.
You know who's coming. You know who's coming.
Eventually.
I'm that guy. And I'm not ashamed.
As long as it's sanitized, though. 6
Anyway.
feet away.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Can't have no COVID.
Just,
I am definitely bleeping that out because
yes,
you would fuck me. So
Actually, I'm not a fan of seafood, to be honest. I don't even like sushi.
Love seafood, dude.
yeah, seafood's one of those foods where I had to like grow to like learn to enjoy it, but like once I did, it made sense. It freaks me out now sometimes because like if I'm like I got like a whole fucking like lobster there, I'm just gonna be like, what the fuck, you know. I've like lately been like pulling away from a lot of meats too, so it's just like they start tripping me out even more. So when I look at it, I'm like, whoa. But seafood's like, dude, garlic butter shrimp, come on.
Oof.
Lemon garlic butter shrimp, come on.
Honey walnut shrimp.
Ooh, that too. That shit sounds bomb.
there we go. Well, as you guys make me extremely hungry right now, we're gonna move on to the next question, which is obviously music based. If you guys were to get a guest feature on your next record or a producer you'd like to work with, who would it be?
I think we already have one in mind that where it's actually going to happen. I think so.
Diplo.
Hey, that'd be sick.
That would actually be really cool, though.
Wait, are we doing Riff Raff next week? We won that contest, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
Riff Raff's
Riff Raff's gonna
Right? Well, we definitely submitted.
we have Flavor Flav on one of our tracks too.
That's awesome. That would be awesome, though.
Nah, fuck with you.
Yeah, that's a good question. You got me thinking, like,
Um,
I don't know,
Even
because
though,
5
like-
people is already, like, enough, you know, like, it's, like, good, you know? Because, like, you gotta consider what kind of song we write, but, like, fuck, producer. I want to get somebody, like, completely, like, left field,
Okay.
you know, like a R&B producer to come in and help us on something, to see how, like, they would chisel out the song and they would, you know. Bands like Slaves are really cool with how they write music. I from what I heard is like Eric Braun starts with a lot of vocals and he'll build a song around vocals so that like it seems a little more effortless when people listen to it to the ear, because the first thing you generally latch onto is the voice. But then like as like I would say like a drummer, like the drummer instinctually goes to like how the groove feels, even if they're paying attention to the guitar, the vocals a little bit more. But I think like somebody like that would be able to approach music like that would be really interesting. You know, it'd open up really cool doors for like how the actual instruments are written. So I don't know any producers like that. But
Anyone else?
Like, I've been listening to this dude a lot, and I really like he's a producer. Phineas, you guys ever heard? You guys knew what I'm talking about?
no, Billie Eilish's brother.
Yeah, Billie Eilish's
Yeah.
brother. Yeah.
I just really dig like the way that they approach just songwriting in general. Like, it's really really cool, because they'll take like I think I was watching this like behind like how one of like a song was created. I forget which one specifically, but it's they took like the sound from like you know when you press the button to cross the street, like for a crosswalk?
Oh yeah.
They took a sound off of that in like off of like how they have, I guess in Australia there's like a really weird way that it just lets you know to cross the street, and they just recorded that with like an iPhone and then dropped that into like a Logic session and then kind of like stretched it out to kind of to be on time with the song, and that became one of the layers like
Oh,
in the background that's like a recognizable thing. It's really cool. Like I was just like, oh dude, like that's amazing. And they're just like doing it out of their bedroom. So I was just like, dude, like the fact that they are that kind of like self-sustaining type of artist that kind of just takes ideas from like their entire environment wherever they are is like one of the reasons I'd love to work with someone that just thinks outside the box that way. Yeah.
Anyone else here?
Well, these guys know my answer, obviously.
I was waiting for you, dude.
They're just waiting. No, we had a really we were very fortunate that we had this guy Andrew Wade work on actually the song that you've heard, Quiet Chaos. He did the mixing for it, and you know I've seen him as a producer as well, and it's pretty masterful, the kind of things that he's able to achieve. And I would love one day for it to be put onto what we're already doing, and that would be a really cool combination to see come to fruition.
Lannis?
Love to hit up the audio compound, man.
Oh yeah. I don't know if Lannis is here or not, if he wants to answer. Or if anybody else hasn't answered yet. I think he's
Bob?
gone. So we're no, wait.
Oh no, he's here.
Oh, there
He's
he is.
here.
Ab?
Ma'am?
Is his speaker here? Like, oh, I think he has it muted. There he is.
There you are.
He is.
Still can't hear him. Hi. Hey. Sorry.
Did you hear the last question?
What's
It was just who do you want to have like a guest feature on your on the next record?
Sorry, Forrest is trying to. Oh, that one. You mentioned race Wade. Could choose want to work with us, but have already been like an artist. I think it'd be really cool.
It's still a little spotty.
Just got the shot better.
How about now?
I think. We'll give it like a second, I think.
To like catch up. Alright, go for it.
Shoot now, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Good get.
Good, yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it'd be cool to collaborate with Travis Barker. He seems like it'd be like really like a really fun time to fucking like make some rad tracks. But how that would work with us, makes no sense to me. But like, yeah, I guess that's where I stand. So
It might be cool, dude. He might add like a fucking just an interesting twist. He's like a spectacular creator, you know? Like, I think he could take on a genre like this.
Maybe like Kevin Parker from Tame Impala.
That'd be
wacky.
That'd be wacky,
awesome.
and fun. I would love that.
There we go. That's
We create some crazy atmospheres together.
Yeah.
you guys have some good picks, so hopefully you got some good ones coming up. You know, if you want to see Phineas on a next Takers Leavers track, you know, I feel like let's get this shit popping right now.
Yeah, sign the petition.
Yeah, make sure to tweet at him because you know
Yeah.
you want him on the next track. So, but the next question, guys, and Dave kind of alluded to it a little earlier. My personal
yeah.
favorite question, because I'm a nerd and I love asking it. If you guys could be a video game character, who would you be?
Ooh.
I'd actually be Spyro. Like, if I could be a character, fuck all your Cloud Stripes and all these, like, actually, Kratos is pretty badass, but I feel like he deals with so much shit. But, like, Spyro is the ultimate badass. Everybody's like, oh, fuck, it's the purple dragon? Bow down, dude. And they underestimate his ass, and when he shows up and he's like, bro, like, come on, dude, it's Spyro.
I'd be fucking Geralt of Rivia.
That's a good
Hands
call,
down.
dude, yeah.
Oof.
Fuck.
That's
I like that.
another ultimate badass. But, like, you know, he's a big fucking dude. He can, like, it's hard to kill him. Spyro's a little dragon.
Spyro
they probably
bro.
deal with the same amount of shit.
Spyro saves the
Just
universe.
colorful.
Geralt is just exercise some old lady in her fucking cabin in the middle of some stupid woods. You know?
Dude, I mean, yeah, no contest.
Purple ass dragon. You got nothing on a purple dragon, dog.
Like, how quick would it
Hey,
be for
what if
Spyro
they
to
made-
fuck up Donkey Kong?
Like, oh, dude. What if they made, like,
He would murder
Spyro big enough for Geralt to ride on, and he was, like, this crazy... Dude, actually, fan art right there. Hey, somebody who's listening to this, draw that. Oh, I'm gonna have Billy draw that.
There you go. And it'll be the next takers leavers design for.
Yeah, shirt design. We'll do
Shirt
something
design.
with it.
You better. It's on the internet now, so
It's actually a good idea.
it's a good idea. I like that.
Alright, it's coming.
You could do it. Anyone else have an answer for this?
Who would we be?
Yes.
I would be Solid Snake.
Nice.
Class.
The espionage king, dog.
Either Solid Snake, or I guess I could say Vegeta because he's technically in a video game, but he's also an anime character. But
I feel like that
I'll give you the
fits.
pass.
Like, I feel like you can do that.
I'll give you the
That's
pass. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised
if I could be a Saiyan, that'd be sick.
I'm surprised you didn't pick fucking Brawly.
Well, can I change my answer to the goat from the Goat Simulator then?
If
I'll be
that's
a
how we're
character.
gonna do it, man, I want to be that piece of toast from that game.
Oh, yes.
You seen that shit?
Yes, that's
That-
what I was thinking of.
That game is crazy physics, bro. It's insane.
Dude.
May or Rob.
Do you guys know about this game?
I
Where
do.
you're
I
a piece
do.
of toast?
Wait,
I
what?
do,
I
yeah,
have not
yeah.
played this goat game.
Yeah, I've played.
Dude, the Goat
I know the
Simulator
game
is
Ghost Simulator. Yeah.
And the toast game. The toast game is out of
Dude,
this
the
world.
toast game was like the craziest thing.
It's
to
tough.
watch. Yeah,
hard.
man. It's like it's like
only got-
understanding a crazy level of physics, man.
It's tough being a
basically
piece
will-
of toast.
Trying to get to that toaster.
Brett, have you seen this game? You know what we're talking about?
I have
Dude.
not.
I've seen it. I know.
May, you don't?
No, dude, I have
Explain
not.
to me.
Dude, it's crazy. You're this piece of toast, right? And like, you have to get into the toaster, bro. That's it, dude. But it's crazy. I'm telling you.
Do you want to answer, May?
He's looking it up right now.
I think he's actually looking at the
So
toaster.
he's looking it up. Is it called toast? It's just called toast.
Now
right?
May is.
I just had to text somebody that was giving me a call, but I was listening to you guys. What I have to is it on like a marketplace like Xbox Live or
I
like
saw somebody playing it on the like from the PlayStation
I
store.
want to say it was on PlayStation. I was
Okay.
playing it. Yeah.
Well,
I think it's called
as
just
May,
toast.
as May thinks about his answer, I will look up to see if it's on any. It's probably
So
on Steam.
so my character has kind of been this one for like a while. Like I like fun characters like anything in the Nintendo universe. But if I think about like what I would like to do like as a real world character, I think like Booker DeWitt, dude. Like I know David gets it,
Oh,
but
from
like
fucking
yeah.
Infinite? Yeah.
yeah, from Infinite, that's the shit. Like just being able just to fucking like take an elixir and just have like new shit that you can do. Like I think that's cool.
Yeah.
It is on everything, I think. It's on
Is it?
Steam.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on a bunch of
I
shit.
gotta check out
It's
this
called
Toad
I
game,
Am
dude.
Bread. Shouts to I Am Bread.
I am bread.
I Am Bread. Yeah, that's
I
what
Am
it's
Bread.
called.
That's the
It's a
game.
good old time.
I am bread, dude. That game is fucking.
It's wild.
Yeah. It's
Rob-
crazy because like the concept, you know, you're a piece of toast.
You're a piece of toast.
Is there is there a soundtrack by chance? Fucking
We butter the bread with butter.
Robbie, I don't know if is Robbie's still rocking
Yeah, I
with
think
us?
he's still there.
Oh man,
Robbie's
I don't
still
know.
there.
I don't know. You know, I don't know where I'm gonna go with that. So,
No, Robbie actually just Google searched a bunch of video game characters so he can clarify his mind and solidify what the answer
Ooh,
is.
the
'Cause he's
call
the smartest
out.
one here, and I'm gonna answer last, and I'm gonna make sure I have the right answer.
you know, I was gonna go say something funny like Toad from Mario Kart because, like, you know,
I
got-
love that.
I
Was
got a
actually my
Mario
second.
Kart, but I'm also like a mushroom.
That's
Dude.
spirit character.
Dude, okay, I gotta
But
say
you know, if it
something
has to be a
about
real
that though.
person, you know who's always a badass? Vega from Street Fighter.
Oh fuck yeah,
Yeah, dude.
Vega is so sick.
I gotta
dude.
say something about Toad though, real quick. As soon like I've loved Toad ever since like he came onto the scene. But the moment I saw that fucking meme where it shows him standing there and then it shows him standing next to himself, but without the fucking
Without the hat, dude.
thing, and it shows
That
like a
fucked me
face
up.
where the things where it knows fucked me up. real
Yeah,
bad.
those are twisted, dude.
It
Those
made
are
me
twisted.
feel like he was just like some hidden character in that show, All Real Monsters.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, that show was crazy too, though.
Imagine if that was the crossover.
Dude, you're about to give Robbie some nightmare fuel, dude.
Yeah. Are you sent? Wait. Dude, Robbie, go look it up. Go look it up, and then verbally exclaim your reaction loudly. It's super weird, man. It's like when you see like how they do like cartoon character anatomies, how they draw them all silly.
Or I found this hilarious Toad video. I don't know if you guys have come across it. It's the one where they've replaced the vocals with Toad singing these like famous songs. Like they did one with they did Chandelier, and it's just this guy that sings just like this Sia's song Chandelier, but it sounds like Toad, and it's the most
I haven't
disturbing
seen it. You gotta
it's one of the most disturbing / blessed things I've ever come across in my entire
I'm about
life.
it.
I will only post like a 10-second clip so everybody can check that 10-second clip and be blessed by whoever does that Toad voice, because
Dude.
holy shit, wrecked vocals. I don't even know how that person does it. I think they have to just take months off from like not doing it and then just be like, yo, I'm gonna record the song right now.
Voice work like that's crazy too, because like that's like how some vocalists warm up by doing characters like that, and I always thought that was super cool. Like that.
Do you do any characters, Dave?
Yeah, I
Tell
do
me
a lot.
tell me who. I need to know now.
Man,
Give
I
me no
like
flex answers, dog.
I do this guy a lot. He's a fucking East Coast asshole. No big deal. We all talk to each other like this. We do a lot of
forget
random
about
ones, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like the East Coast dude.
Yeah, Sergeant
Bastard.
Pepperoni
And
over
I
here.
sometimes will do it in Australian, and I'm still trying to perfect it. It's hard to do Australian because you gotta like differentiate it from like English. But there's like voice actors that like I really look up to, and I'm like trying to exercise it like that. So we do a lot of fucking voices to each other just to fuck around, and sometimes I end up like coming up with a little character in my head. But I have this weird thing where like I can watch, like I've been watching cartoons lately, and I'll be like, that is that guy, and like I'm like trying to match voices because I can hear these little subtle nuances, and like 7 to 8 times out of 10 I've been close or like dead on, and it's been crazy. I'm like, it's like a newfound thing.
May, do you do any voices?
I mean, I've got one.
Okay.
I've got Eric.
Oh
Hi.
God.
Oh, dude.
I'm
yeah.
Eric from Virginia. Suck a dick now, yo. Like, but like, it's
Yeah, yeah. You starting to piss me off.
No, man. I mean, yeah, dude. I do voices and stuff, but you know, it's kind of like some real secret shit. But
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't really do that much.
I mean, you could tell me. Dave already revealed his secrets, so I feel like, you know, now I just have to know the whole band's just mocking, just doing the whole East Coast rocking thing. You know, you got pretty. I gotta give you credit because I'm an East Coaster, so I was like, that was pretty close. I'll give you a B plus, Dave. That was a B plus.
That's totally fine. It's better than a lot of the shit I experienced in high school, man. We're good. Hell yeah.
Well, anyway, guys, we're gonna move on to the next question. If you guys could compile a dream tour lineup, who would be on it? I feel like to make it more interesting, each one of you pick one band, and that will be your lineup.
Bon Jovi, because I heard they
Wait,
harder than anybody.
Wait, are we on this lineup or
Absolutely.
Are we... Okay, cool.
Yeah, still Bon Jovi, because I want to get as fucked up as I can with a band like that. Apparently, they were like bands like Molly Crew who were like, dude, that band's fucking crazy. And like, if you hear that, you're like, what, dude? That's nuts.
You never would think Bon Jovi is that.
Yeah,
band.
you'd never, dude. Never,
Yeah, you'll be living on a prayer.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
All right, so Dave picked Bon Jovi. What else do we got here?
I got Post Malone for sure. I'd like to like. I'd love to like.
All right, this is getting wild, right? All right, I'm feeling this. I'm vibing.
I've already thrown up.
Some of us gotta choose bands, I suppose. Fuck, dude. I don't know. I would fucking love to play a show with Weezer for some reason.
That'd be so cool.
Like that would just be legendary. I would always
but like
cherish that
Pinkerton
moment.
era Weezer.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Weezer at Coachella, and I was pretty fucking satisfied. They play a lot of old stuff too.
Hell yeah, Weezer would be sick.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
I'm like stuck. It's like if I'm only gonna choose one, that's fucking hard.
Fuck. A lot on the line here.
Yeah,
That's
man.
$1 million question.
Like, because like there's like I want to go the route where like I want to be funny and choose some random band that's huge, but then there's like I want to choose an actual band. Like, yeah, they'd be cool to play with. They're not huge.
You have
I
quite
don't
the
know.
eclectic lineup.
Skip, come back to me.
Okay. We have quite the eclectic lineup so far. So, Robbie, what are you?
Doesn't make any sense.
That's why I said eclectic.
In fact, we're gonna get more haters at this show than we're gonna get people who are like into our music. So
You guys are the
failed.
worst festival ever.
We should just call this like Slayer Fest just to mislead
No,
people entirely.
please,
What
no.
the fuck?
Slayer signs.
Oh. Is Robbie there? Robbie, are you gonna answer?
He did. He just did.
What did he say?
Robbie's
Wait, no,
repeat yourself.
he's saying it right now. That'd be sick. Maybe you should fucking mute it while you're like not talking, because that's just been crazy. There you go. Sick. Foo Fighters would be sick.
All right, fucking AFI.
Ooh,
I think that'd be really sick.
That'd be
Wow.
rad.
That is a very interesting lineup. Well, you guys can buy tickets for this sick Slayer Fest tour in 2022 because we know 2020 is fucked.
2021, we're like,
we don't know. Maybe 2022, definitely likely. So if you'd like to purchase tickets all the way 2 years in advance, You can get them right now.
Yeah, for $1,000 directly to our
Yeah,
bank accounts.
directly into
Brought to you by Fire
brought,
Festival.
brought to you
Yeah,
by
that's
Fire
before
Fest.
fees, by the way. But it's totally worth the lineup. You'll get to see Bon Jovi. So.
Yeah, 100%. And he's just gonna play "Living on a Prayer" for
Yeah,
7 straight hours,
repeatedly.
repeatedly,
Over and over.
over and over. He's gonna ask if the crowd's tired of it, and he's gonna be like, "You guys
And
tired of it?" And they're gonna be like, "Yeah, we're done. Don't do it anymore." And they're gonna be like,
And
"All
he's
right,
gonna-
man, we're gonna do it again then."
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
He's gonna
so
throw out little fucking baggies of like party cocaine to everybody in the front just to keep them going.
oh, this is
Fucking John Bon Jovi,
this is-
man.
Remember.
This is-
Remember.
this is spiraling.
It's his life, dude.
This is
Now I
spiraling. I'm spiraling right now. Which we have to move on to the next question because I totally have to bleep out that part with the party
I'm so
bag.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's all
Rob and I
good.
are
You know,
both
listen.
on fire right
You
now.
guys are on fire. I gotta give you props. So if you guys want to watch the uncut gems version of this, you can subscribe
watch
to my
it.
OnlyFans. You get that
Oh, man.
It's not
you get
worth
that
This is censored,
exclusive.
right?
Just that, yeah. You get the uncensored version of this interview. But the next question, guys, we already talked about a sick Dream Tour lineup. In your opinion, who puts on a great live performance? Who just kills it live?
Kills it live.
Kills it live.
I would say Architects.
I was literally actually gonna just say I just
Yeah,
saw them
wow.
recently with them and was like, whoa.
That was
Yeah.
insane.
We stumbled onto that band years ago, and obviously they're from the UK, so they never played shows around here, and then fucking one of the days they did, and we went and played it. Like, I swear to God, I've never been to such an amazing show in my life. Like, the sound was good, the performance was good. Like, hey puppies, you could tell like his vocals obviously weren't as matching to the record, but that's okay. Like, you want a live experience, but it was still fucking phenomenal. So
I really miss a band called Let Live. It was just it
Oh
was
yeah, dude.
more than just like how you sound live. It was kind of like a movement, and it was just something different to be a part of, man. Like, it was crazy, you know.
I feel that. I respect that. That is such a great answer, Dave.
I think this it's ever since they like kind of split off. Like, I just feel like there's like some type of like energy missing. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
It's crazy.
Dude, you know who we've seen a couple of times, and every single time, like, they never disappoint. Like, I don't even know if that's possible for them, but Night Verses are just like
Yes.
ridiculous live, dude. So
The
sick.
dudes, yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's like that's a mesmerizing set. I rarely see a whole room kind of just stop like interacting with one another and just stare at the stage. Then like when you see it at like a Night Versus show, you're like, oh yeah, I get it. It totally makes sense.
And Arik is nuts. Their drummer, he's like,
Yeah.
doing
Arik
flips,
is
just
nutty,
like,
yeah.
He's nuts, yeah.
Look at that cute. Is that a
Look at that
Rhodesian
dog.
Ridgeback, dude? It's totally a Ridgeback, isn't it, Rob?
sorry. Well, I'm sorry. Catahoula.
But yeah, Night Versus is just one of those bands that's like, man.
Yeah, Night Versus is amazing. And we've played shows with them too, so it's kind of surreal, you know.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Hey, Bob.
But
We can hear you.
So who's next?
I
Carol?
guess we'll move
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Everybody answer?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys already said my answer. I love seeing Every Time I Die, Dance Gavin Dance. Like, I never disappoint when I go and see him live. I mean, every time I die, I can like Keith can just like be up there and not give a fuck, and I'd still love it.
Yeah,
Like, it's all about the energy the music brings. I want him to enjoy himself as much as I enjoy myself when I'm there. So who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it's really nice to watch a band like that. Just let the crowd kind of be part of the band.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
There we
That
go.
kind of energy is sick. That's an experience.
I'm trying to think who I saw them with recently that kind of blew my mind. Oh, I saw them with Beartooth, which was a little bit ago.
That's
That's
cool. I like Beartooth.
But they were I've seen Every Time I Die, but it's something cool to see them in like a small venue and everybody's like packed in, and they're just going nuts on stage.
Yeah, man. Like that's how you're supposed to see ETID, is like a tiny little venue where it's just like you're not like a barrier away. You're like a step away from them.
Oh, 100%.
And they're just like, it's a tiny show and it's sweaty and everybody's like, it's just crushing you. The whole experience is crushing.
I don't know if this would ever happen or if it had already happened, but I would have loved to see like Every Time I Die with Let Live like on a show. I feel
it did happen.
I would imagine it happened, but like I just can't. Like I didn't see them prior to that. Like I had seen Let Live like at a few other shows. The most notable one I can remember was I saw them when Under Oath was disbanding, and they opened for that tour.
Let Live did, yeah.
It was awesome. I always tell this story on the channel, but they were playing. I think they were playing like the last song of their set, and all I remember is that Jason was like, "I'm gonna take the bass. We're going to unplug the bass cab, and we're gonna throw it out into the crowd, and on the count of 3, I'm gonna go jump off the stage and surf this bass cab like in the middle of the pit." And he's like, as soon as like our boy counts it in on the drums, like this is, you guys are just gonna go nuts, like just do your shit. And all I remember is like him hitting the cymbal and Jason Butler just booking it off the stage and lands on this amp, and he starts like surfing this like bass amp, still screaming and all this shit. And it was still one of the most notable like concert experiences I've went to, and I don't think he'll ever be beaten, other than maybe like the Chariot, but like,
oh dude, that's a fucking different
breed, man. So
yeah, Chariot was crazy, dude. There was a time where Jason actually filled in for Every Time I Die as vocalist because Keith couldn't make a show or a few shows. So he actually filled in for the whole set.
Oh.
There's some video up there. You should look it up. It's actually pretty damn cool.
It would be cool to see his spin on like some like classic Every Time I Die songs. So
his Roman Holiday is sick, dude.
I actually just heard not too long ago. It's like a demo track from Let Live, and Keith does a little screaming part on it. I don't know, Dave, if you know about it.
Yeah, I had no idea. I knew about it.
Yeah, it's like a Black is Beautiful, I think, demo.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah. Actually,
and Keith has like maybe like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, I remember those because like there were guest vocals from a bunch of people on there.
Right. Yeah.
Keith was one. I think Sam Carter was one too. Wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Was Vic Fuentes one too?
I think so, actually.
Because I feel like they did like Great Escape.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Oh, Soupy. Dan Campbell was one. I actually think I liked his a lot. The singer of the Wonder Years.
Yes. That's awesome.
That's right.
Everybody should check that out because, again, they're a band that died well before their time. So.
Oh, man, Let Live just burnt out. It was crazy.
Terrible. But anyway, guys, another fun question. Favorite TV show, favorite movie?
Ooh. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is my favorite TV show. I think front to back. Yeah. Watch that show. Movie, you'll have to come back to me.
I'm currently watching a lot of Community and a lot of like just crime fucking shows on Netflix. I'm addicted.
Fair.
Fuck.
Man.
I'm a documentary nut. I like watching like shit on like conspircy, history.
Gotta get
I've
that
been watching
documentary
Dexter,
done.
recently.
Religion, you know, shit like that, spirituality. stuff that those kinds of things. Mainly, I watch those. I watched Hereditary last night.
For the
I
first
love
time.
Hereditary.
No,
Oh.
for like the 6th time, I think.
I still haven't seen it.
I
need to
still
watch
fucking
it.
hate that movie.
It's a
but I still
twisted
watch
movie,
it.
man.
I love twisted movies. I need to watch it.
Dude, it's just like
Probably.
it's.
Wait, Karen, have you not watched Hereditary?
I have not.
Dude,
it's
you
like
gotta.
right
Oh,
up my alley, dude. I
Dude,
love those kind of movies.
If you need a movie to watch during quarantine, Hereditary will fuck you up.
Have you guys
Alright.
seen Midsummer?
I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah, I've seen Midsummer. Yeah.
I love
seen
Midsummer.
Midsummer is crazy.
Dude, anything by Ari Aster is just
Midsummer
crazy
was
awesome.
pretty wicked too.
Yeah.
By the end of it, I was confused.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Fair, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That's the best review I've heard. It's like, yeah, it was crazy, but at the end of it, I was just confused.
Just kidding. It was twisted as fuck.
Yeah. I really like twisted movies like that.
I recently just watched The Platform. It's
I watched
phenomenal,
that.
dude.
That was
It's
wild.
crazy, dude.
That Spanish film, right?
Yeah, super
Yeah,
wild.
that movie was wild. Can
Really,
you
I like
imagine?
that plot, dude.
Man,
Kind of like, yeah, it gets in my imagination. I'm like, fuck, I kind of see the world like that in a sense.
Right?
When you just look at the news and everything, you're like, fuck. It's a dumb.
yeah, dude. Like if that was like the way like the prison system was in some like post-apocalyptic world,
Yeah.
where they just
Yeah.
put people.
I don't know what my favorite fucking movie is.
Man, that's one of those hard questions, dude.
Yeah, I'm freaking out. You guys gotta help me out. Like,
Dude,
Yeah.
I have like movies like in genres, and then I have it in like
Yeah.
in what time frame they were in. Like it's like, oh, like
Yeah.
favorite, like you know what, dude? I always gravitate towards this one. Like The Big Lebowski, like always comes back as like a
a good
staple
one.
for me.
it's a classic.
Because, dude, like it's one of those movies where you could just go all the way through and just know what every line that's coming up it's gonna be. It's like that and Ace Ventura for me.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
gonna say like majority of mine is like I've always clung to like Jim Carrey movies. I've always loved his work.
Yeah, same.
Kevin Spacey, like a movie like The Usual Suspects.
Ooh, yeah.
Have you guys seen K-Pax?
Yeah, K-Pax is great.
That was where he thought he was like some alien or some shit. It's actually a cool movie. It was weird at first, but then like it became like a cool movie. Alright, cerebral. You know.
Is that your pick, Dave?
No, K-Pax? Fuck no. Hell no. No way, dude. I can barely explain it, dude. There's no way in that movie. I would probably say if I had to choose like a movie that I could go back and watch over and over and like not get tired of, dude, that's like very difficult. I really like Reservoir Dogs. That's a movie that I think is
Love
like
that movie.
Yeah.
timeless. You know, like it really tripped me out when I was a kid, and it made me like. It was the first movie when I was like 4 or 5 that I saw that was like an adults movie that had like I wasn't allowed to watch, but I remember peeking around like the corner and seeing like all the blood, and I was like, "What the fuck happens in this movie?" And I remember not being able to watch it for like years, and then when I first watched it, I was like, "Oh my god, this!" I forgot it was that movie, and I remember seeing it. I'm like, "That's the scene." So it just has I have this like connection with it. So that movie's timeless to me, and Quentin Tarantino's just
Yeah.
out of his mind cool, but definitely out of his
Yeah,
mind.
Pulp Fiction will be mine, so yeah.
Pulp Fiction's a
Yeah.
classic.
Well,
too.
oh, dude. So good.
There we go, guys. Next question. Another fun one as well. If you guys were trapped on a desert island for the next month or quarantined for the next month, and there was one record you could bring with you, what would it be?
One record.
One record. Front to back, baby.
Shit.
The Chronic.
Wait, 2001 was the
Yeah.
original one.
Hip-hop album or something.
Yeah.
Probably 2001.
2001.
Something
Yeah.
keeps me just chill.
Okay.
No, you
You
know
know
what?
what,
The
dude?
original.
Okay.
Between the Heart and Synapse.
See,
Nice.
here's the thing. I wasn't gonna say it because I knew Robbie was gonna say it, because then I'll just hang out with him and listen to that. And then
Because it's so, like you're gonna listen to the same record over and over again, right? So it's got to be a long record. You can't have like a short record. You're gonna fucking, get tired of it.
Yeah.
But
I would probably have to say, like Robbie kind of nailed that. I would go hang out with him for a bit, but I would have to actually say a Second Stage Turbine Blade. Coheed and Cambry's first record. There's something about, there's like a nostalgia connected to it at the time, the place, everything that I was like doing. I was reading this certain book. Everything just lined up to where when I think of that album or I hear it, I'm like thrown into this fond memory that like I'm suspended in, and it just feels very like good to me. There's dark moments on the album, but it feels like I'm traveling through the journey of this record, and it just like reminds me of these emotions. So I think that record.
We running through everybody? I think we ran through everybody. No?
Well,
Man,
if,
can't
if
decide.
I got one more. If I'm thinking of like a desert island, because I remember when I was on Hawaii many years back, I was listening to Parkway Drive, and it was they just released an album. It was called Deep Blue, and for some reason, I don't know why, but like listening to it while like driving around on the island, and like it being so tropical, like felt like I was in a different time period, in a way, like as if like my previous life that I was living like back home had like never existed. It was like a weird feeling. So like, but it was like a cool feeling. Like I was like on a new like life of adventures and shit.
I know what you mean. You were like
Yeah,
living
I
in an
gotcha.
alternate reality or some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and
Music
like
helps you time travel.
yeah, and like I don't know, like I guess I would choose that. Like, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to choose that only because fuck, that's hard. I don't know if I could listen to that on repeat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay, I think I got an answer. Fucking. I think I would have to do a Dead Mouse record, to be honest. Because I can definitely listen to a Dead Mouse record for a long ass time.
I was actually gonna say, like, maybe even pulling that back. Not saying like one of my personal favorite post-hardcore records, but like a Tycho album. I feel like that'd be perfect
yeah.
island
Okay.
music.
I'm trying to think of something that's gonna make me wanna like. All right, let's construct something. Let's get some water.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck this. I would love to just have the Minecraft soundtrack playing. I would build
My guy.
a fucking city.
My God. My God. Great answer. Great answer.
You know what I
Keith.
mean?
Yeah.
It's perfect, dude. Everything would be just you're chilling, you're walking around. Island music when shit's starting to go crazy, the music's dark, and you're like, oh fuck, go back in your house, close the door.
all right, well, I want to go back and now say Final Fantasy VII soundtrack. If you're gonna get down.
Nice.
Fucking son of a bitch.
no, dude, that would just fucking be a constant tease because I'd want to play the video game, but I didn't choose the video game. I chose the soundtrack.
True.
But now I need something to actually be the soundtrack for me on this island. Like, oh, a little bit of everything.
Awesome.
Yo, I
guys.
recommend all of you guys checking out Random Album Title by Dead Mouse. Is
Is that the name of the record? Random album title?
Yeah,
That's
it's
tight.
it's like if you're digging, trying to get like a lo-fi feel or like a taiko feel, check out that album.
I'm gonna scope.
It's really good.
I'm gonna have to check that
Oh,
out.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that
Yeah.
out. Next question, guys. Since most people that are watching this, I would assume, are new fans of your band, or they just found out about your band, what would be one track that you would recommend to them being a new listener? Can
For
be
me,
from
Fist to Wall.
It can be anything. You guys have heard.
I would say Fist to Wall.
I would say Fist to Wall also.
I think we'd all say Festival.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's our most well-rounded track. And I think it's honestly, like, I just recently discovered that it's my favorite to play live because it just feels good and powerful and energetic and fun.
There we go. The collective answer. That's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. Usually it's different, so I'm glad you guys all were on one vibe. You know what I mean? That was
That
That's
answer's gonna
slick.
change in a few months.
But definitely
was
check
just
out
thinking
Quiet
that too,
Chaos.
but
there we
Don't
go.
ignore this new single.
And then the last thing, guys, the most important thing, tell them about Takers Leavers, where they can find you on social media, and anything coming up in the next couple months is soonish.
Yeah, we are releasing our single Quiet Chaos officially all across all the platforms on the 15th. We're actually doing a merch giveaway. So if you pre-save the song and screenshot it, send it to us, and then tag a friend in the post, we'll choose 2 winners. You guys get 2 free items of merch. And then just stay tuned. We'll be announcing more like live stream stuff, Q&As, things like that.
There we go. Where can they find you at on the social medias, guys?
Just at Takers Leavers. Remember, no ands, no the, no ifs, no nothing. Just Takers Leavers. You're also on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. Follow us on Spotify. Listen to our music. Tell your friends. Don't tell your friends. We ain't gonna be mad. Quiet Chaos out May 15th.
Yeah.
I think you would be mad. I would be mad if you didn't. If people watching this, I would be mad. I would be mad about you guys. I'll be the one that I'll be the anger translator for you guys. So you should go.
Oh hell no!
Oh hell no! You should be checking out Takers Leavers. What the fuck's your problem? You know you want to check that shit out. But anyway, go check out Takers Leavers. There is no and, there is no the, there is no it, there is no was, there is no any of that shit. It will be labeled out in this interview format. So you can check out the name. All of the links will be in the description because, you know, we boys doing that work for you guys, you know. So, you know, I'm just saying, just doing it for you. If you want to check it out, go check out their music. Quiet Chaos is a banger and a half. So you should go check it out. And new music coming soon. I would assume, you know, I'm not gonna preface anything, but I feel like it's coming, so I'm just gonna put that out there in the universe just so people know what's going on. And if you enjoyed this interview, share it, like and subscribe. It goes a long way. We talked for a literal hour and a half, so if you're a true fan, put Gary Busey in the comments below if you watch the full fucking thing. You know, if you watch the full hour plus of this shit, if you skip to the end and you put Gary Busey, nah, fam, that's messed up. But if you watch through to the whole thing, God bless you. Chef's kiss, baby. Just get plenty of that. Dave knows what I'm talking about. Dave's just gonna make faces as this continues on. But so go check out his shit. Go check out Takers Leavers. This is hilarious. I'm sorry, Dave. I'll just put text bubbles or some shit if you talk in the next minute or so. But go check out their band. And thanks, of course, to Takers Leavers for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, man.